done this evening. An invocation tonight will be given by Alderman Will Banks and our Pledge of Allegiance by Alderwoman Alderman.
You'll join me as we pray. Father, we thank you for this time tonight. We thank you for our city. We thank you for the way it blesses each of our lives. We thank you for the men and women that serve our city. We just ask you to be with us tonight as we make decisions, and we ask you for wisdom, and everything that we do and say would please you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk call the roll, please.
Alderwoman Garrett. Present. Alderwoman Godfrey. Alderman Martin.
Here.
Alderman Chapman.
Present.
Alderman Wilbanks.
Here.
Alderwoman Oliver.
present.
Alderman Black.
Here.
Attorney Will Purdy. Presiding Mayor Phil Fisher.
Okay. Will is available on the phone tonight if we need him. I didn't think we'd have any legal issues of any great deal, of any great importance, but we can call it if required. Okay, I have no recognitions tonight. Does anyone else? We have two items we're going to put on the other business. One is going to be about the MOU for the land,
The grant.
the grant for the sidewalks. And we have another one on, what was that?
The second one was the election commission.
The election commission, for making that appointment so we can get the right number of people on there for the general election coming up. Item 6 is approval of consent agenda items A through M. Do we have a motion, a comment, or a question?
I move to approve items A through M.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our department head report will be given by Jimmy Balter. This is the first. The city clerk is giving one.
It's going to be a real quick one. We're extremely busy today. As you're aware, we had our Ward 3 primary going on today from 7 to 7. So if you live in Ward 3 and you haven't made it out to vote yet, there's still a little bit of time to get in line. Polls will be open until 7 for those that are trying to get out there. I do want to thank publicly everyone who has come out and voted already today. Last count I had, it was over 600, so probably 700 by now, which is a real good turnout. We were projecting maybe 500 to 650 or so, but already over 600, pushing 700 with an hour to go is a good turnout for a single ward with one race. But I do appreciate everybody that came out. Also, I want to acknowledge those who came out and wished to vote but didn't get to. We apologize. There was some confusion amongst other wards. They heard election day and they came out and wanted to vote, but it turns out that we only had to have one primary today. So we ask everybody just to be patient, hang in there, and you'll all have a chance to vote on June 3rd in the general election, where we have a number of races to be determined. Also, just thanking everybody tonight. I want to thank all the departments and those throughout the city who have answered phones and helped people get directed where they needed to be with the election and answered questions about this whole process. So that's kind of what I had tonight for the department section.
Excuse me, Jimmy. Whoever's speaking on the phone, if you could mute your transmission, please. Okay, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Go ahead.
That's pretty much what I had, was just the election update. We will be sending out one last thing. Sorry, Mayor. We will send out a postcard to everyone in the city that's a registered voter. That will be one per household. You should get that mid-May, and it will have what ward you're currently in because of the redistricting, as well as where you vote and the dates and times. So be on the lookout for that.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Jimmy, for the good job that y'all done today. I know that there've been some reports in other cities of cars getting towed and having the balance in them, and there's all kinds of things that nobody could ever think possible that have happened. And we just don't seem to have those issues here. It's because of the work that you do and your group does. So thank you very much.
Good support groups. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Item 8 There's a board of Alderman discussions and reports. We have none. Item 9, mayor discussion and reports. A, discussion action resolution to approve one additional payment, the cost of living check to retirees of the City of Clinton Fire and Police Disability Relief Fund for 2025. Mr. Vulture?
Yes, sir. This is the annual extra check, the 13th check for those on our muni program. If you remember, that's the old PERS program for fire and police. It's required that we bring this before you each year for a motion and a pass.
When did the uni program end and PERS pick up?
It was before my time. I'm not sure of the exact date on that.
It was back in the 80s. Do you remember, Chief? I mean, it was back in the early 80s, as I recall, but I think what we're paying into now is to keep the fund alive for those who are still
For the last
drawing out of it. I don't think anybody's still here.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item B, discussion action, authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Butler Snow to provide professional services as dissemination agent in connection with the City of Clinton's annual continuing disclosure undertaking. Mr. Baldry?
About a mouthful on that one, but this is another one we just have to do each year. Butler Snow helps us to publish our public financials and everything after we finish our audits to the clearinghouses and the various bond agencies. Once we get those things done, they help, get that all in the right place and to the right hands. So I'd like to ask with your approval that we just continue again another year with the same Butler Snow service there.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item C, discussion action, authorize the mayor to execute contractor change order number 3 in the amount of $24,928.34 with Joe McGee Construction Company related to the Rising Springs 80/20 development project. Mr. Vulture?
Yes, Mayor. This, with the recommendation of the committee that's overseeing this for the 80/20 project, this is a change order due to some of the weather conditions and some minor changes that were made to the plans. There's a number of things that we changed, worked with the contractor, with Joe McGee Construction, to facilitate phase 2, so we weren't doubling up and overworking or doing something in phase 1 that we have to cut out and then redo again in phase 2. So we've adjusted a number of things up and down, and the net comes out to just $24,000. It's a relative small figure for them going over about a month due to weather and different things. So we asked for your approval on this as well.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Just want to remind everybody that this is money that the college is coming through the city, but it's not city money that we're spending here. So
Yeah, this was a state grant from the state, and this project is still on budget. So
that's the
dispatch.
dispatch rate. So we may have a little interference tonight. For some reason, it's bleeding through. So, okay. Item D, discussion action approval of budget amendments. Mr. Baldry?
This one's a little different than what we normally do. We spoke about this one last night in the work session in an effort to try to get ahead of things and be a little more proactive with our budget process. We're asking for this amendment to the budget. We're asking for $25,000 amendment to our election expenses. There was unforeseen things due to the redistricting and then the primaries and the different things costing a little bit more on this election than what we have in the past. So we need to adjust the election line that we had in the budget by $25,000. I don't think we will hit $20,000 to $50,000, but just will just give us a little extra cushion as we go forward with these mail outs and this type of thing with the extra elections we had to do this year. And then we also had some things with Main Street. We needed to add some expenses that were expected last year that didn't happen. They didn't happen until later into this year, and they weren't budgeted because when we did the budget process, we were still at the end of the year thinking they were going to be before the end of the year. So we need to get those updated. They're finally done, and we've got the invoice, and so now we know how much that is. It's about $20,000. And then the last part of it is $51,000 to the police department, equipment purchase line, and to a revenue line for grant income. Actually, not grant income, it's for sale of vehicles that have been seized. One we didn't know was coming. The police chief and his guys, I think he talked to his last meeting about a vehicle that was going up for auction. I won't steal his thunder on how much they got for it or what they're doing with it, but we need about 51,000, so that gives you a good idea of where we're at. But this will be a net zero effect, but we'd still need to list it on the budget.
That's what I was gonna ask. We're getting almost the whole amount for the truck.
Between what he's getting and a few other
You're
vehicles that
changing.
we're already disposed of, we've already surplused and are auctioning off, we'll make the 51,000 easy.
Okay, but we have to vote on it because you're changing the.
Because we're amending the budget itself. Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions, comments, or a motion?
I make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, discussion action. Approval for Clinton Police Department to purchase a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado four-wheel drive truck for $50,804.84 from Roger Dav Chevrolet. Chief Ford Heyman will take us through this one.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Board. If you remember a couple of meetings ago, the seized truck that we couldn't necessarily use in our department, you allowed us to sell it at auction. We did really well. So this is with the purchase of this vehicle, we converted a vehicle we couldn't use into a vehicle we will be able to use at the police department. So seeking your approval.
Make your approve.
Is there a motion and a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item F, discussion action. Item F, discussion action, approve the mayor to sign a contract for Vault Entertainment for the purpose of the stage and production services for the 4th of July. Ms. Courtney Nunn, our Director of Parks and Recreation, will take us through this one.
Awesome. So the next 4 items will be dealing with July 4th. And, I told you before, it's one of my most exciting times of the year to get this taken care of and off of my long list of things to do. This will be a unique year. I want to highlight a lot of very exciting things. This is year 35 for this event, which is very unique, as well as a bittersweet moment to be bringing in a new mayor, as well as a few new faces on the board. And last but not least with that, we're going to be unveiling our sport lighting at Traceway. So we're going to try to incorporate everything as much as we can. And with that, we wanted to make sure that we made this year memorable for everybody. So starting off with Vault Entertainment, that is our stage and production. And so it's the same company that we've used for years, and they've done a great job with the stage and everything. We did opt into an upgrade with the stage, which will include some lasers. It will include some white cloud effects, as well as like some projectors that will go either on the ground with some like stars or kind of anything we wanted to do, or they will shoot them into the sky. So think about projectors, you see them on houses, but pretty much amplified. And so it wasn't a big cost to upgrade that, playing with some different numbers as far as the budget. And I feel like this will be something exciting to add to this year.
Well, Mayor, do you think we could, these next 4, we could group them together since they're all connected to 4th of July?
Let's see, the next 4.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, F through I.
Okay, the next, so F, we just spoke about. G is discussion action approved for the mayor to sign a contract for Against the Grain music. H is discussion approved for the mayor to sign a contract for Jacarius Singleton for the purpose of headline entertainment.
That's Clinton's own.
I love it.
Clinton's on there.
Still my thunder, guys.
And item I, discussion approved the mayor to sign a contract with Pyro Shows for the purpose of the fireworks display. So we have a motion to approve F through I.
Wait,
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
About it.
prepared for this. Jumping down to Pyro Shows, that is the same firework company that we've used for years. I did ask for some additional options to add to our already great show. So we have added a little bit into the show. It will keep the same 15 minutes, but they've added a few more fireworks, cakes as they call them, within that time span. So it'll be a lot more shooting, probably more for the finale. So it'll be exciting there. The cost for the pyro shows is going to be $18,500. Vault will be $13,335. So that'll be the stage and production as well as the fireworks. Okay. Going into the entertainment, which is the exciting part. So against the grain, Kyrus ATG is what they go by. He is a Clinton, Mississippi native as well. He will be the opening act for the Red, White, and Blue Fest. He derives from a family of artists. His mother, a choir director. His father was a minister and lead guitarist. His grandfather was the pastor and renowned skilled guitarist. And Kyrus developed a phenomenal skill with singing and playing the drums. They've compared his strength and power of his voice to that of a lion. So he's going to be a great act to add to this. And he will be the opening act for Jericus Singleton, who is his brother. So it's exciting. He is Jericus's older brother. So we're going to make it a family thing this year. So I'm excited about that because we know that this event started as the family firework extravaganza. So I'm excited. A few times I've mentioned it. I heard it mentioned again today, a family affair. So that's kind of the direction we're trying to go this year with that. So that'll be ATG there. And then Jericus Singleton is a musical trailblazer with a bold vision for the future of the blues. Springing from the same Mississippi soil as Charlie Patton, Muddy Waters, and B.B. King, Singleton's cutting-edge sound, equally rooted in rap, rock, and blues traditions, is all his own. He melds hip-hop, wordplay, rock energy, and R&B grooves with contemporary and traditional blues, turning audiences of all ages into devoted fans. So you know Jericus. He is awesome. He opened up for Eddie Cotton Jr. in 2021 and did a wonderful job. It's not often that your opener has a packed house as well, and he brought in a lot of people as well as Eddie Cotton. And as you know, that particular year we were able to present him with the Mississippi Blues Trail Marker and let them be a part of that big moment. So we're excited for this. I hope you guys are too. And if you have any questions for me.
Do you have an answer to that?
I don't.
I move to approve all FT, H, and I.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item J, discussion action certificate of appropriateness for dimensional variance. This is for Rob Gray, Brian Rutledge, 310 East College Street in Ward 4. Mr. Edwards has the challenge of following Courtney's presentation with his.
All four of these at one time.
Is anybody here to represent the properties?
Rob and Brian.
Y'all are free to speak to it if you choose or not.
They are seeking a certificate of appropriateness to renovate the exterior of the structure located at 310 College Street, East College. You'll recognize it as the Mackie Davis House. They're also requesting to demolish a collapsed building structure in the rear of the property and build a carport with a one-bedroom guest house on it. So they'll be asking for dimensional variance to go with this. Use of the house. This property, of course, is in the Old Town Clinton district, and of course, certain elements or certain actions that are taken require a certificate of appropriateness. And actually, this is one of those. The exterior elements of the structure will be preserved and repaired as needed. They'll come back with the same color. Do any the window replacement. They'll match the windows that are there now with the same light, same style, things like that in it. According to what the Department of Archives and History has requested of them to do there. You see the area there, that's a side porch on the property. They wanted to glass that in. It will be where they since it is a historic house, or part of our contributing resources there, it can be removed at a later date if need be. But as of right now, it will be glassed in there. And this will give you an idea. To the right there, you see what it'll look like. Those keep the same structural members, things like that. So there would be no damage to the house itself. The other thing, if it's moved, is on the rear of the house. The porch here is a screen porch there that is actually pulling away from the house. On there, they're removing the walls and roof of that, and we'll replace it with a pergola. And they're in the gable end of the house. They'll want to come back with some half timbers with stucco fill. Show you what, maybe, here we go. You see in the drawing there at the top. And there's the pergola to the top left there is what they'll replace the screen porch on the back with. And then the gable end will be the half timbers with the stucco infill.
Is that acceptable with the IDA?
We've sent this right into the Department of Archives and
Okay.
History, and they did just want a little bit more detail on the windows that they had. And then with the landscaping, it'll be restored. They'll remove the railings and the patio here and bring it into the same characteristics as the East Clinton Historic District. More. The carport, we'll get to that. Here's the site plan of it. That in the gold is the existing house, and the red is the dilapidated building telling you about that will be removed, along with some trees in the rear yard to get to that some are dead and some are just to get out of the way for the new addition in the back. That in the red will be the new carport with the guest house on it, and then also a breezeway going back to the main structure. This is your front elevation of the house. You see there in the center, you've got the two bays there. That will be the carport. What looks like a bay to the right there will be the breezeway going back to the house. Here's your view from the rear and the side view of it. Sections 2200 to 2206 require the issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for these items. 2207 gives you the purpose and criteria for granting a certificate of appropriateness. The Historic Preservation Committee, as well as the Planning Commission, has recommended approval as submitted.
Has this house ever had a carport or a garage or?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Other questions, comments?
The addition to the rear, will it hinder any sort of historical significance since the front of it is still visible and the same? Is this addition, everything is good historically?
It's good we're placing it at the rear of the house where it can't be seen from the road. For the most part, contributing resources are looking at it from the front.
You got interrupted. So just be still there. We hadn't heard from a lady that may all just be bleeding in, or whether she's still even there.
It's muted.
She's here.
Hadn't heard her speak lately.
Thank you.
Oh, all right, she is still there.
Okay.
And I mentioned the dimensional variance on there. The structure will be 1,280 square foot, which would require 530 square foot variance for an accessory structure.
That's the only variance we're being asked to do.
That is it.
Everything else just says
Right.
appropriate.
1 foot for the height. 20 foot is the height, and they're going 21 foot with the gable end.
I move to approve. I'm very appreciative of the investment they're making in the Old Town.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. When will you get started?
Thursday.
Outstanding.
We wanted to give a little time, but we're excited to get started.
Like tomorrow, Thursday?
That's right. Excuse me.
I mean, on Tuesday, like 2 days Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. So time.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Item K, discussion action, architectural review, Sonnet Sound, 121 Clinton Boulevard in Ward 4. Roy will take us through that. And Mr. Sand, I hope I pronounced that correctly. No, I didn't even come close.
That's the only thing I know.
All right.
Louis officers here representing Mr. Sand. And they are seeking a conditional use to operate a donut shop at this location. The property is in the Clinton Boulevard corridor district, and this use is allowed as a conditional use under section 2402D. This is the location of it there at the corner near the Woods Activity Building. That give you just a idea of where the drive-through will go and where the dumpster enclosure will go to the back of the building there. On there. This is a site plan for it. Coming around the back of the building, we did. I met Louis out there, and we measured to move the pickup window a little bit further to the west, to the left on this depiction here. On there, in order to get the number of vehicles in a standing. Our ordinance does require 5 standing spaces for a pickup window. And so he'll get that. This is the front of the building. The brick will remain the same. Now, across the storefront, they are seeking to put a awning across the front. And this is looking to the right of the blue building. There is where the pickup window will be at the far end of the building, about 10 foot from the other end of the building, and it runs around there. All the blue you see, they're wanting to paint it white, just to freshen it up. This is the awnings. There'll be an awning over the pickup window, as well as an awning over the whole storefront. And again, this is the pickup window will be at this near this end of the building.
Okay, so you drive along the back and the pickup window will be on the end?
Right.
And you said there's room for 5 cars to
There will
line
be
up
5 standing.
on that property?
That's
Okay.
coming, depending on which direction you're coming, there would be room on one side of the building or the other, the apron of the drive.
Okay.
I mean, it's all asphalt at the end. I think I had a picture kind of showing that a little bit right there.
So they're
See the
coming
asphalt.
in and out of the same entrance.
They'll come in, right, that's all that.
That's
this
all they
building has
have.
got is
Yeah.
just a wide entrance right there.
Mhm.
Now, it does connect to the E.
Yeah.
Woods building too. It's been that way as a ingress egress mode, but yeah, for the most part, what's on their property would be just on the Oakwood. I think it would be a little tight to try to put anything else between Oakwood Drive and the entrance to the A. Woods building.
I know that-
Woods Activity Building, I'm sorry.
Planning and zoning denied it because of traffic. If it was popular, Clinton Boulevard and Oakwood, trying to get in and out and blocking that lane, they would have to go into the turn lane, and a lot of people are in that turn
Right, and
lane turning.
That was a concern of 3, was a vote 3-2
Yeah.
tonight, on there too, being in agreement with, as presented, on there, but it's that, there was some concern about the, seeing the other donut shops.
Yeah.
Will there be more than 5 people lined up to get donuts at any given time?
Look at Shipley's.
Come on up, so
The current ones in the town can only hold 2 to 3 cars without being in traffic. This one, me and Roy took
Hang
a,
on, come
took
on to the
a,
podium. Come to the podium and speak so we can hear you. There you go.
all right, hi, I'm Louis Walsh. So currently, we're planning to move the pickup window on the right side of the door now in order to get 3 on that side of the building, and then the other 2 will be in the asphalt, which is 141 feet from the front all the way across to the grass portion of the front of the building. So we're gonna turn it this way and put some striping to where you could come in and out of the building and still come from adjacent from this side to where you could fit your equivalent of 5 cars up to 7.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it's gonna actually get into Oakwood. And if it does, there's asphalt, there's asphalt all down the right side, left side of the Oakwood. Also, yes. So
Can you move that window based on the concerns of P and Z?
me and Roy met out there in order to do that. And so I measured my truck, which my truck is 25 foot long. And we did the average vehicle is 21 foot long. And from the way we laid out the window, we can get 3 to the corner. And as we turn from that way, coming this way, we could put 2 more between there. So
In
At
that,
least.
in that lane, so the pictures we saw earlier, it has, like you're saying, there's dirt and grass. Would that be paved?
Asphalt. Yes, it would be asphalt. It would be
And-
asphalt all the way around.
And the other locations I'm thinking around town, I don't think I've ever been more than 3 or 4.
Correct.
Yeah, what's this on North Side
On
Drive?
Sunday
By the bowling
mornings,
alley? It's
it's-
like 2 cars.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Yeah.
very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out there today because of the concerns and drove around it. It's just a lot bigger than I mean, I drive by there every day,
Yes, sir.
multiple times, but it just was bigger when I got in there than I had in my mind. And if you're doing the thing on the back and you're moving the window, I just, I don't tell myself, but I'm in line in a donut store a lot.
Sure.
And I've never seen more than 5 of us, and it's pretty quick. It's,
Yeah, it's all pre-made, and then if worst comes to worst, they can always move them down, just like any other driveway.
That was
No,
sort of
no.
my
That's
thought,
why
too.
we're trying to keep the door for that purpose, so.
That's
It's
sort of my
gonna-
thought too. Here and ask, when's the busy time? That's probably 7 to 8, getting them in the
Yeah.
morning.
Right.
So you might have 1 hour at most where you'd have the most flow there too. And if that really got jammed up a little bit too, looks like the store could have somebody out there. You've got a lot of other parking lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
You might have to pull them off the street, tell them to turn around and do something like that too. But
Sure.
there seems to be plenty of space there to put them somewhere on the lot
Yes, sir.
if they get enough without backing up down Oakwood.
Correct.
On it too, it may take somebody to come out there and get them off of the street or something. If you ran into that
Overall
problem,
width of the-
it sounds like there ought to be enough room to take care of that. And I'd hate to do a little what if to kill a nice project on it. So I think since there is room to maneuver them there, that they ought to be able to work that out. If they start jamming up traffic on Oakwood, and somebody might need to talk to them and remind them to figure out some way to get them onto the lot, get them off the street there too. But I don't think that concern ought to be something to stop this project.
And is it only gonna be drive-through, no walk-in?
Just gonna have walk-in.
Oh, it is, great.
there's plenty of parking up front.
Yeah, it
Plenty of
is.
parking.
So, I guess the other concern from P and Z was going through Woods parking lot, Woods Center parking lot.
Well, you're really not going through the parking lot. You're
I mean,
going through
cutting
an
through
entrance.
instead of trying to.
There's an entrance, but you don't even get to the parking. It's a pretty easy ingress and egress there.
It's
I thought
It's currently connected,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is
with
connected.
asphalt,
Yeah,
and we're not planning to change that.
yeah, it
If
is.
they go that way,
Well,
I can't stop.
And if it's been used
Chandra will
as
just
an
have to
egress.
call and say, listen,
I made
You know.
to approve.
yeah.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second,
We have a motion and a second.
Also,
All those in favor of the motion?
I wanted to make another comment,
I'm sorry, the motion was made.
but we can still comment
No.
after motions. We have always done that.
No, we have.
So, what
And
about
all
the
in favor of the
trees?
motion, say aye.
I think she's got a right to comment.
I
see
do
that
have a
motion
right.
second, then it's opened up for discussion.
Yes, we've always
It's our
commented.
normal way to do that, and it's been done on numerous occasions.
Well, I
is
tried
make
to
a
say
fast motion
something, but you
And then a
didn't,
second,
let
fast
me
motion with a
finish.
second in order to prevent conversation.
Anyway, the other thing was they wanted to put potted plants along the street. Are they gonna do, it was in the P and Z minutes, will they do the crepe myrtles instead of the potted plants?
I think there's great myrtles. He said, he is there.
In the planning and zoning, he elected me not to put potted plants on there, 'cause on the
Okay.
front of the storefront because of that. And then the only other thing was as far as one of them made a motion to try and put a 6-foot fence between that and the other commercial building behind it. But just to close it up for traffic, it would be the only one that I've seen, but I'd be happy to do whatever you want me to do. I just need to know how to.
We'd prefer probably trees like along that section instead of potted plants.
Yes.
Now, potted plants at the door would look nice, but not on the street.
Sure.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
All in favor of the motion to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Item L, discussion action architectural review, Munn Enterprises, 455 Spring Ridge Road, Ward 6. Mr. Edwards will take us through this. Do we have anybody here representing that project? You're free to come up and speak to it if you'd like to.
This is Harold, Harold Munn with Munn Enterprises, and they have submitted the renderings and the color samples to redo the canopy there at the corner of Broadway and Spring Ridge. This is the shell. This is what the new canopy would look like. With the midnight blue as the primary color, and then you have the other colors there as it fades down to the yellow. This is what it looks like now. This would be to the side facing Broadway. It would have a primary color of yellow. And then this is what it looks like now there. This is the side towards Walgreen. It gives you an idea of what it looks like today. This gives you an idea of the color at night. See the white sprint mark during the night, it will show up as white, and then in the daytime it will be the midnight blue color.
At the planning and zoning meeting, they thought the yellow looked a little bright. And that was my first thought looking at the packet too. And they talked about toning down that color some and kind of table it to have a new color presented and voted by email to approve new color.
They did.
So I'm guessing that's still the old
This-
color, what you're showing there.
This is the color. There you go. They're still the bright.
But is that their business colors?
That's
Well, I mean, we can't change, that's like telling Chick-fil-A you can't use red. I mean, if that's their colors, it's their colors.
I'd like to make a motion.
Why haven't it been
Second.
the y'all's
A motion and
color?
a second to approve this motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item N, discussion action, dimensional variance, Garth and Kyle Bond, 1633 North Midway Road. This is in Ward 2. Mr. Evans will take us through this. Do we have someone here representing that? You're welcome to come up if you'd like.
This is Steve Olson representing Gareth and Kylie Bond, and they are seeking an 850 square foot dimensional variance to build a 1,600 square foot accessory building at this location. This property will be used to store equipment to maintain 3 separate lots. If you remember, we get to it there. That's where that star is about where the building would be. It's close to 875 foot from the road. Gives you an aerial to give you an idea of how far back it is. If you remember this track, it was subdivided a couple of years, I guess not a couple of years ago, a year ago, on there for family tracks there. The gold color is a house that's under construction now. That would be the Bond's house. And then the red there towards the back is at the location of the storage building or accessory building. This is the what it would look like if once built on there. The as far as the location of it, it meets all your setback requirements. The closest it is 25 foot to any property lines there, and that's family property line there. It's over 40 foot to the neighbor on there. The notice of public hearing was published and the property was posted as required by our ordinance, and Planning Commission approved it as submitted, or recommends approval as submitted.
Go back to the aerial picture that was, is it sitting behind tree, like from the street? Is it still gonna be hidden behind all those trees and whatnot?
875 foot back.
I imagine it's very far back.
Okay, when I purchased this land, what we did was we cleared everything. So in the back there, it's totally, there's trees right there where he's pointing.
Mhm.
But where the house is now that they're building right now, in the way back, you can't even see the building, because I have a tent back there with my tractor already in it, and you can't even hardly see that from the road anyways.
I'm all for it. I move to approve it.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item N, discussion action, dimensional variance, Steve Douglas, 211 Willow Oaks. This is in Ward 3. Mr. Evans will take us through this. Is Mr. Douglas or anyone here representing that? Okay.
Steve is here. They are seeking a 114 square foot dimensional variance to build a 864 square foot accessory structure shop at this location. This is your location on Willow Oaks. This is your aerial. That in the gray is the location of the proposed building there. It's more than 25 foot from the property lines. 5 foot is all that's required on it. Again, they will be looking for 114 square foot dimensional variance on there. Side on it will be hardy plank, will be painted to match the house, and the HOA has approved the colors, material, and location of it as well on there. A notice of public hearing was published and the property was posted as required by our ordinance, and the planning commission recommends approval as submitted.
Excuse me, this one is a big lot, and that will be a secluded building back there too. And I also noticed in our package that he talked to his homeowners association. They have a strong association out there, and they approved it too. So when the neighbors are happy and it kind of hidden back there too, I don't have any problems with that. I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, item 10, which are all employment items, A through E, A through G are all to approve hiring. We generally take those in one vote. So do I have a motion, a comment, or a question?
Move to approve items A through G. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, under other business tonight, we talked last night about the sidewalk grant, and tonight we're asking to sign the MOU that we had talked about last night. I'm sure it's pretty fresh in everybody's mind. We want to go ahead and get the grant out there and get it submitted. This sidewalk will stretch from basically we're in front of Gore Gallery, where the steps are that go so far down, and it'll stretch all the way to the car is on the boulevard. On the boulevard there. And so we have any more comments, questions, or motion on that from the board?
And that takes you in front of the cemetery,
Yes.
Yes.
and then on the cemetery side of it.
Oh, yeah, on the cemetery side. And there'll have to be, we talked about that a lot, a fence of some type, I think, built there.
No bodies on.
Yeah, nobody, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll have to have a fence of some type between the street and the sidewalk. So we're working on that right now. That'll be included in the budget.
And Donna Gallo will be the one documenting for our grant.
That's a different one
Which one is this one?
for the sidewalk.
There's one that,
This is the sidewalk that goes down College Street.
Okay.
Okay, so we got, you made a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
And second, okay. I'm sorry, I thought a motion had been made. I'm sorry.
Still hearing the echo from the last one.
So
Yeah.
just let him know.
Anyway, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no?
Yeah.
Motion carried. All right, then we have an appointment to the Elections Commission. We have one seat still open. And so I'll bring to the board tonight the name of Vera Watts. We have a couple of, they actually have, a couple of people. I got 4 people right now out of the 5 that we need. So I throw that open for discussion from the board. A motion, discussion,
Make a
question?
motion to approve Vera Watson's appointment.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Any more other business? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
Motion and a second.